everyone. So I wanted to do a video on Coppa because I know everyone is feeling a little panicked about this. Okay, so I just want to give you a little background of what it is, and then we'll talk about how it's going to affect creators, especially crafters, makers on YouTube. Okay, so Coppa is the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. And what it does is it protects children from their information being collected by any online site, okay? And it was started many years ago, like 10 to 14 years ago, and it really is supposed to help protect against predators and really people targeting children. So I think it's a good law. However, in 2013, because of rapidly changing technology, they went and amended the law to include cookies. So, you know, cookies are what websites use to keep and collect your information. So that is collecting people's information. So let's say that you go to check out on Kohl's and you put all your credit card information, your address and whatever, and it uses that cookie to keep that same information again. So then when you go back in again, you don't have to enter all that information in again. It's collected by that cookie. Well, because of this, because YouTube uses cookies as well, several child advocacy groups brought a complaint against YouTube to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, about them violating the Coppa law. So instead of defending against themselves or paying huge penalties, YouTube settled with the Federal Trade Commission and they paid somewhere around $170 to $180 million. There is talk that they kind of threw creators to the wind in order to save some money, but we don't really know exactly what happened in that because, of course, that's closed. Anytime you make a settlement, the majority of those discussions are private. We do know, however, that as part of that settlement, they agreed to some pretty drastic changes on YouTube in order to comply with this law. So this part is my opinion, and don't use it as legal advice, but it does appear that the Federal Trade Commission is going well beyond the bounds of the law and that they are stepping into almost taking over parents' rights. Because what they're saying is that every channel that's on YouTube has to mark their channel and their videos as whether they are child-directed or not, which I think is pretty straightforward. However, they also added in child attractive. So that really goes well beyond the means of that law. And it also does not allow for anything where there are general channels, so mixed media channels where they may not really be directed at children, but because of the content, they might be child attractive. And they're really kind of overstepping the bounds of just making sure that children's information isn't getting collected and actually going into using the law to determine if children should watch certain things or not. So that's a little bit, or a lot, concerning, really. You need to take this law seriously. You need to pay attention to your channel. And you need to, if you have any videos that could be considered child-directed, then you need to either mark your channel as child-directed, or you need to go private those videos, because what's going to happen on January 1st, if your channel is child-directed, what's going to happen is you're going to lose your community tab. Your monetization is going to go down dramatically, like maybe up to 90%. So they will no longer use targeted ads on your videos. You will lose your end screens and your cards, which of course is how you grow your channel. you're going to lose a lot of the things that most channels use to grow. So no comments can be put on your videos. It's pretty drastic. So that's going to really affect a ton of YouTube channels, because a lot of YouTube channels are child directed. So for example, the child Ryan who does the children's reviews, well, of course, that is child directed. You know, there's a lot of vlog channels out there where the children are just kind of an active part. And so that, of course, is, even if it's not child directed, it's extremely child attractive. So if you are a creator or a maker, this is what I'm planning to do. And this is my personal opinion of what I think you need to do. If you have any videos where you are using Dollar Tree toys to make something, take those down. If you are using plush animals or animated characters in your videos that could be considered child attractive, take those down. You want to be super careful about the content that you make until this is all settled. So the FTC is taking comments right now. They are kind of starting to clarify some of what this settlement means. However, there's a petition and there is a right to put a comment out there to the Federal Trade Commission that they are overstepping their bounds, and to encourage them to look at this again, because it is going to affect majorly a big chunk of people on YouTube who use YouTube to provide their income. So that's huge. But this is what I'm going to say about makers. So we use YouTube to reach our audience. We use YouTube to help us define our audience, to help us get our message out there. So, you know, this is how we are using it to let people know what we do, help people solve their problems, grow our business. So YouTube, although it is nice to have that little bit of ad revenue from YouTube, that is not where you're going to get the majority of your income for your business. Okay, so YouTube is a social media, and it's an excellent one, and it's a great one to help direct your audience into your sales. So selling your products and your services and things like that. So you want to remember that you are not on YouTube to become a YouTuber and to make your living at YouTube. You are using YouTube to find your audience, to find your specific audience that wants and needs your products and services, and you're using it to give them a message of how you can help them, how you can solve their problems with your business, because that is what makes that sale. It's helping you to learn your audience, to gain their trust. So you need to keep this in perspective. So it is not the end of the world. Don't panic. Just be cautious of what you're putting on YouTube. Make sure that you are marking your channel if you are child directed. And just make sure that you are paying attention and watching what is going on. The FTC has already come out with some comments addressing some of the YouTube creators who have been putting their comments out there and really signing a petition to make their voice heard. And whether you are a person who has a YouTube channel or you watch YouTube, this is going to affect us all. So I encourage you to sign the petition, to put your comments into the FTC. So far, the FTC has come back and said that just because your channel might have bright colors or you might use some animation, that they realize that not all of those channels are child directed. And I will tell you that in my YouTube course, I am addressing this and showing people kind of what the FTC is doing. I will be keeping my group updated. And I also show them a tool on how you can make sure that YouTube is not marking your channel as child directed. Because right now YouTube is already going through all the channels and looking to see which videos they consider to be child directed. So even if you don't mark your channel, YouTube is going to. So you need to make sure you do that. I show my group how to do that. And really, if you're going to be on YouTube and you're going to use YouTube to grow your business, which of course I think is wonderful, you really need to know how to do it. So make sure you are checking out my course, because it is very detailed and it is very specific. It's my years of knowledge that I have been on YouTube. I just want to make sure that people don't struggle and take a long time to grow like I did, because it really is a large learning curve on how you can become successful on YouTube. All right, so don't panic because this law is in place. Let's just be cautious what we put on and make sure that we are watching what is going to happen with the Federal Trade Commission. All right, so I hope this helped you, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.